So we'll do organic chemistry questions from the paper. And you will find the weightage of organic chemistry part is more, like it's also an important topic. That's why I leave air and water, sulfur, carbonates, and move on to this organic chemistry. So you will have more time to practice questions related to this organic chemistry. Okay. The first question: petroleum is a source of many important chemicals. Name two industrial processes which must take place to produce alkene from petroleum. Petroleum here refers to crude oil, and we want to produce alkene from crude oil. So what are the two processes involved? First is fractional distillation, because first when you do fraction distillation, it will produce. So fraction distillation of petroleum produce long chain hydrocarbon, which cracked or to produce alkene. Is it clear? If any question, if you're not able to understand, just let me know. So I'll repeat, otherwise I'll move on to the next question. Okay, in the next question they say ethene, propene can both be converted into polymers. What type of polymerization take place when ethene form a polymer? As we discussed, there are two types of polymerization: addition and condensation. So which kind of polymerization occur when alkene form a long chain compound? Addition polymerization. It is better everyone participate. So it is, even your answer is wrong, that's not an issue. Your participation is important, which shows your understanding. Then write empirical formula of a polymer from ethene. The empirical formula means the formula which represent a simplest ratio. So empirical formula of monomer and polymer is always same. What is the empirical formula here? How to find empirical formula? If I write the molecular formula, so molecular formula is C2H4. So what will be empirical formula? Empirical formula is the simplest ratio. So 2 and 4, what is the simplest ratio? It's 1:2. So CH2 will be there. So empirical formula. And polymer and monomer both have the same empirical formula. So even you find the empirical formula of monomer, that will be same as empirical formula of the polymer. Is it clear? The formula which represent the simplest ratio between the atoms present in a compound, that is called empirical formula. So when we yes,
how to know when it's addition and when it's condensation?
How to know it when it is addition or when it is condensation? If a monomer involve a carbon-carbon double bond, then it is always addition polymerization. If a monomer contain amine, alcohol, or carboxylic acid, it means it will be condensation polymerization. And that we'll discuss tomorrow about condensation. We only discussed addition part. So whenever there's a carbon-carbon double bond, it will always be addition polymer.
And when it is what do we call it? Alcohol?
Condensation. If alcohol is there, amine is there, or carboxylic is there in a structure. So propene has a structural formula. This is a structural formula of propene is given. Draw 2 repeat units, means repeated twice, of polymer made from propene. So you don't have to draw a monomer. You have to just directly draw a polymer. But to draw a polymer, you should know the structure of a monomer. So I told you, whenever you want to draw a polymer, your monomer you should rearrange the structure of a monomer, and your monomer should appear like letter H. So it does not appear like letter H here. So first I will roughly, on a blank pages are also available. You can see here. For working, you can use the blank pages. You can use these pages to do working. So what you can do, because you want to draw the polymer here, and first your monomer should appear like letter H. So how it will appear? So it will be C double bonded with C. So first always make your monomer like this, and now rearrange the structure. The 2 carbon which have double bond, here the 2 carbon which have double bond. This carbon is having 2 hydrogen. So if it's 2 hydrogen, 1 hydrogen will be up, 1 hydrogen will be down. This carbon contain hydrogen and CH3. You can see this. So one is carbon, CH3 is there, another one is hydrogen. It's up to you. One you make it up, other one will be down. So what I did, I rearranged the structure of monomer. But I have to draw a polymer with 2 repeat unit, means I have to repeat it twice. So this is 1 unit. And this is another unit. And what I will do, I will link them together by a single bond. I'll link them together by a single bond. And this important, put a bracket and then N. Why putting a bracket? It means there are still repetition, units are repeating till N molecules. Is it
So
clear?
should we also write the name of the monomer and the polymer?
No. Sorry. If they did not ask. So if they did not ask to name the polymer or name the monomer, you don't have to, until unless they ask. Is it clear? The structure of this polymer, it will be polypropene, but because they did not ask the name, so we don't have to. Next part, ethene react with steam to form ethanol. Propene react with steam. If propene react with steam, what will be the product? Propene react with steam, what will be the product?
Alcohol.
Yeah, which alcohol will be there? If ethene plus steam is ethanol, propanol will be there. So what you have to do in the question, propene react with steam to form 2 isomers. Isomer means they have the same molecular formula but different structure. We call isomers. Suggest the structure of these isomers. So we have to draw 2 isomers of propanol.
Branched and straight.
So to draw an isomer of alcohol, just change the position of OH. For example, prop means 3 carbon. So the term prop means 3 carbon. So first I will draw 3 carbon which are having a single bond, and I put OH with the first carbon. So this will have 2 hydrogen, this will have 2 hydrogen, and this will have 3 hydrogen. This is propanol. Then I will put OH with the second carbon. When I put OH with the second carbon, this will have 2 hydrogen. This will have 1 hydrogen. This will have 3. What is the name of this compound? Name of this second structure which I drew here.
Prop2all.
Prop N2all. Prop because of 3 carbon, N because they have a single bond. Not all is there, not null. It's prop because of 3 carbon, N because they have a single bond, and second is the position of OH. So it is propan-2-all. Is it clear? The 2 isomers of propanol. So you just change the position of OH. So propane-1-all and propane-2-all are the isomers of each other. Okay. Esters are organic chemicals noted for their characteristic smells. Ethanoic acid and methanol will react to form ester. Name the catalyst needed to form an ester. So for the catalyst used here is the sulfuric acid is used as a catalyst for formation of ester. Name the ester form when ethanoic acid react with methanol. So which ester? The first name of ester is coming from alcohol, and the second name is coming from acid. So which ester will form if ethanoic acid react with methanol? Now let's write the fifth, methyl ethanoate. The first name is always coming from alcohol, and that is considered as a branch. The second name is coming from acid because it's ethanoic acid, so it's H. They have a single bond in, and because of the functional group, they are O8. So it's methyl ethanoate. Draw the structure of ester form. So we have to draw the structure of methyl ethanoate. So for esters, and show all the bonds means you cannot write like this CH2. That's wrong because you have to represent all of the bonds. So first, to be an ester, when a compound is ester, it means it contains C double bonded with O and O. Now the part which is connected with oxygen is considered as a branch. So how many carbon, if it's methyl, how many carbon should be there in a branch? Meth. So there will be one. And eth means how many carbon in the chain? So it should be 2. One is already there, and then we draw the second one. And now to draw hydrogens, so you just have to draw the hydrogen. This carbon having one bond, so how many hydrogen will be there? So this will have 3. And we have to show all the bonds, so we have to draw single bond with hydrogen. And same thing, this carbon will form a single bond here, so left 3 hydrogen. 1, 2, 3. So this is actually a structure of methyl ethanoate, which is formed by a reaction between ethanoic acid and methanol. Is it clear? Drawing the structure of ester. The part which is connected with oxygen is coming from alcohol, and because alcohol was methanol, so it should have 1 carbon. And the part which is coming from acid is ethanoic acid, so it should have 2 carbon atoms. Name the polyester. That's you will learn condensation polymer. So these are organic chemistry question. You can see 13 marks are there for this question. The last part, why I did not solve the last part, because still condensation polymerization we will discuss. That's why I did not answer the last part. More questions from organic chemistry? Okay. The alkene and alkanes are both examples of homologous series which are hydrocarbon. What is meant by the term hydrocarbon? What is the meaning? It's of 2 marks. What's the meaning of hydrocarbon? You can use your mic as well if you want to say the answer. What is the meaning of hydrocarbon?
It is formed by hydrogen and carbon.
Yeah, or compound which contain carbon and hydrogen only. I will show you the answer key, the marking scheme as well. The purpose to show marking scheme is to understand the distribution of the marks. So when you mention compound that contain carbon and hydrogen only, there is no other element, you will score the. So even you mention contain only carbon and hydrogen, that's you will get 2 marks. So only or not other element is there. So the definition, compounds contain carbon and hydrogen only. The next, give 3 characteristic of homologous series. So what are the characteristic of homologous series we discussed? They should have a same journal, they should have a journal formula, similar chemical properties, that's true. Same method of preparation, that's right. Each member differ by CH2. It should have a journal formula. So same or similar chemical properties, it should have a journal formula. Each member differ by CH2. Same functional group means like if one contain alcohol, the other should also be OH will be or alcohol. Same method of preparation or similar method of preparation, and physical properties gradually changes so we can predict the variation. So you can write any 3 out of these, any 3 characters. Now name and draw the structure of second member of alkene homologous series. What is the name of second member of alkene? What is the name of first member of alkene? Like the first alkene. What is the first alkene? The first alkene is not, there is no methene. Why? Because to be an alkene, it should have carbon-carbon double bond. But meth means there is only one carbon. So alkene does not start with meth. The first member of alkene is ethene. So alkene started with ethene, then propene, but there is no methane. Why there is no methane? Because in meth means there should be one carbon, and how the one carbon can have a double bond with another carbon, because it's only one. That's why it started with eth. So if the first member is ethene, what is the second member? Name and draw the structure of a second member. So that's propene. Then you have to draw the structure of propene. You can use screen annotation to draw the structure of propene. Prop means 3 carbon and ene means there should be a double bond between first and second. Draw the structure of propene. And you have to show all the bonds, so you cannot write like CH2, CH or CH3. You have to show all the bonds. And what about the central carbon? No, if you draw one more hydrogen here, it means carbon is forming 5 bonds. This hydrogen is not correct, this one. The central carbon atom, because carbon maximum can, yeah, that's right now. So prop means 3 carbon, and there should be a double bond between the 2 carbon atoms, first and second, and hydrogen according to the number of the bonds which are used. Next is alcohols can be made from alkene, like we can prepare alcohol from alkene. Name the reagent, means which chemical we need, and what are the conditions needed to convert alkene into alcohol. What are the conditions required to convert alkene into
At least
alcohol?
10 to 100 degrees Celsius temperature.
Which catalyst is used? You should be specific here, like
Manganese.
no, not manganese. The steam and catalyst they mentioned, but what catalyst you use phosphoric acid. But even if you write according to marking scheme, if you write steam and catalyst, that will give you 2 marks. Steam, or you can mention high temp water at high temperature, that means the water vapors at high temperature, and phosphoric acid, that you will get the marks as well. Yeah, the pressure is too high for this, that's correct. Okay, next, alcohol, which is butanol, can be converted into carboxylic acid. Means this reaction, when alcohol convert to carboxylic acid, we call oxidation. Name the carboxylic acid formed from butanol and draw the structure of this carboxylic acid and show all the bonds. If we have butanol and we do oxidation of butanol, which acid is produced by oxidation of alcohol or butanol?
Butanoic acid.
So butanoic acid. Then we have to draw the structure of butanoic acid.
Butanol, make butanol and add hydrogen, hydroxide.
So no, not butanol and hydroxide, it's butanoic acid. So butanoic acid here refers to you have, because there should be a proper structure for this functional group. It's so but means 4 carbon and carboxylic acid means C double bonded with O and OH is there. So first, and we have to show all the bonds. So 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon, and because of carboxylic acid, it will be C double bonded with O and OH. And then rest of them will have hydrogens. This will have 3 hydrogen. This will have 2 hydrogen. This will have 2 hydrogen. So this is the structure of butanoic acid. In the next question, ethanoic acid can be formed from ethanol by fermentation. Like fermentation, we take a sugar or a glucose, we use yeast. which is having enzymes which help in this anaerobic respiration for conversion of glucose into alcohol. It can also be formed by addition of a suitable chemical reagent. Name a reagent needed to convert ethanol to ethanoic acid. If we want to convert ethanol, we want to do oxidation. Like ethanol can be prepared by fermentation, and this can be converted into ethanoic acid. What reagent we need? We need oxidation. We want to do oxidation. So which reagent is needed? Oxidizing agent. And what is the oxidizing agent we use? Most of these oxidizing agents are efficient in acidic condition. That is why it is acidified potassium manganate 7. So acidified potassium manganate 7 as an oxidizing agent, which is used to convert alcohol into carboxylic acid. And you can see the marking scheme here, that 1 mark is for mentioning acidified and 1 mark is for mentioning potassium. Potassium is bracket. It means it can be other element with manganate. State the type of chemical reaction occur when ethanol convert into ethanoic acid. What we call this change? When alcohol convert into carboxylic acid. So alcohol converting into carboxylic acid we call oxidation. And potassium, acidified potassium manganate is actually an oxidizing agent. Potassium dichromate potassium dichromate can be oxidizing agent, potassium chromate can be oxidizing agent, but the suitable oxidizing agent which make this reaction feasible is acidified potassium manganate. That is why whenever you will see the marking scheme for this reaction, alcohol convert into carboxylic acid, they always use potassium manganate 7, because this is a practical oxidizing agent which give a higher yield or higher amount of the product. So you don't find the name of potassium dichromate or potassium chromate as an oxidizing agent specifically in this reaction. Now in this question, you can see it's a 5-mark question. Describe how a student could prepare ester methyl ethanoate in the school lab. Name the 2 starting organic chemical, a special condition, and a chemical equation for this. So first thing, starting organic, we want to prepare methyl ethanoate. So which alcohol and which carboxylic acid should be there? In the previous question, there was glucose. Actually, Salman, the question was not related to glucose. They mentioned that ethanol can be prepared by reaction of ethene react with steam, or it can be prepared by fermentation of glucose. Like here, ethanoic acid can be formed from ethanol by fermentation. What does it mean? Ethanol which is formed by fermentation can be converted into ethanoic acid. So ethanoic acid is prepared from ethanol, and ethanol is prepared by fermentation. But they're not asking any question. They did not ask any question related to fermentation. They asked question related to oxidation or conversion of alcohol into carboxylic acid. So which 2 reagents we should take? We should take methanol and carboxylic acid because methyl ethanoic, so we should take ethanoic. Then essential reaction conditions. So what we need a catalyst. You can see here. So 1 mark is for mentioning methanol, 1 mark is for mentioning ethanoic acid. Then a catalyst, what is the catalyst used? We use sulfuric acid as a catalyst. We gently heat, not too much, we gently heat it. And what will be the equation for this reaction? We have to write the full balance equation. So methanol plus ethanoic acid, we use sulfuric acid as a catalyst. Then we use heat. And then the equation. So ethanoic acid is reacting with methanol. So you have to write the equation for this. So methanol, if I draw ethanoic acid, so CH3 COH, that's ethanoic acid. And if I draw methanol, methanol is CH3OH. What will happen? This carbon chain will take position of hydrogen. So the product will be CH3 COO CH3 plus water will be there as a product, H2O. The reaction is reversible, means ester can also decompose to form alcohol and carboxylic acid. Is it clear? This will give you 5 marks.
Sir, that is called hydrolysis.
The reverse reaction is called hydrolysis and the forward reaction is known as esterification.
Yes.
Because they mention a chemical equation, so it means you cannot write a word here, like word equation is not acceptable. You have to be symbolic equation. Even if they say write a equation for the reaction, means symbolic. If they specify that write a word equation, that case only word equation is acceptable. So normally you will find last questions related to organic chemistry, but not always. Most of the time you will find the last question is about organic chemistry. Okay. Question 6. The table shows the structure of 4 hydrocarbons P, Q, R, S. Why are P, Q, R, and S are hydrocarbons? What is the reason? So the same definition, basically you have to write a definition for this because they contain carbon and hydrogen, and only is the important thing, because if you just mention carbon, hydrogen, but you should use the term only just to get the second bar. So contain carbon and hydrogen, and only you can see this word is having importance. It's giving 1 mark. Then compound P is a saturated. The term, look, saturated and unsaturated, this is a term which is used. It does not have any relation with dissolving or not dissolving. In organic chemistry, if a compound contain a carbon-carbon single bond, we use the common term saturated. So what is meant by the term saturated here? In organic chemistry, the term saturated does not mean a compound can dissolve in water or liquid or any solvent. Here it refers to that the compound contain a carbon-carbon single bond. If there's a double bond, it is called unsaturated. So this compound contain carbon-carbon single bond. Next, compound P undergo a substitution reaction. Substitution means one atom enter, another one will leave. What is meant by the term substitution? So the definition of substitution reaction. So this is a definition. This is a definition. One atom or group of atom is replaced by another atom or group of atoms. So what is meant by term substitution reaction? One atom is replaced by another atom Yeah, we discussed substitution reaction. If the reaction of alkane, with chlorine, if you remember, like if we write CH4 reacting with chlorine, so one chlorine atom will enter and one hydrogen will replace. So this is what we call substitution reaction. So CH3Cl plus HCl will be the product. State the condition required for this reaction to occur. At what condition it occur? It occur in the presence of ultraviolet light or UV. And write a chemical equation. P undergo a substitution. What is P here? P is actually ethane. So ethane undergo a substitution reaction. So if I want to write equation, so ethane is C2H6 plus Cl2. One chlorine enter, one hydrogen will leave. So it will form C2H5 Cl plus HCl. Then compound R undergo an addition reaction with bromine. Alkenes undergo addition reaction. Why is this reaction is addition? What is the meaning? Why addition reaction? I just discussed the addition polymerization. That if you have only one product, whenever a reaction gives only one product, that kind of reaction is known as addition reaction. So as you can see here in the marking scheme as well, only one product is there. That's why we call that as addition reaction. Then compound containing bromine is formed in the reaction. So means R reacted with bromine. So when R will react with bromine, what will happen? The double bond will break into single bond. One bromine added here, another bromine added to other carbon. Because whenever addition reaction occur, two atoms added to a carbon which are having a double bond. Is it clear?